such a long daf. All right.
That you say it like it's Yevamos.
You say what?
It's not a really long daf like in Yevamos or something. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah. No, it's really not too hard. It's not hard. It's not too long either. So, but okay, we don't have that much time. Okay, so on the Mishna Yuzayin Amud Aleph. So yesh neder b'soich neder. There's such a thing as making a neder inside a neder, which we're going to see is a little it's not so true, because the neder that you can make a neder inside a neder is really just nazir. A regular neder, really, you can't. But we'll see that in the Gemara between today and tomorrow. As the Shabbat. Yesh neder b'soich neder. You can make a neder inside a neder, but ain't shavua b'soich a shavua, and you can't make a shavua inside another shavua. So what does that mean? Ketzad. How does this work? So Amar Hareini Nazir. So, but the Mishna is specifically picking a case of nazir.
Why is he crying?
Amar Hareini Nazir. If a guy says, "I will be a nazir," I'm eichel. If I eat something, right? So meaning he's on a diet. So he says,
he wants to bring upstairs. He wants to bring trucks upstairs, magnetized.
Amar Hareini Nazir. Im eichel. He says he doesn't want to eat this loaf of bread. So he says, if I eat this piece of bread, I'm becoming a nazir. So he says it, and then he says it again. Hareini nazir amaychal. I'm going to be a nazir if I eat. And then he eats. So now he said it twice. So does that mean he has to be a nazir twice? So the Mishnah says yes. Chayav al kol achas v'achas. He's chayav on each time that he said it. So that means he has to be a nazir for 30 days, and then he brings the korbanos and cuts off his hair, and then he does it again for 30 days. Which we'll see in the Gemara Machlokes is exactly how he did this. I'm saying if a nazir has a stutter, so that means he has to keep being a nazir for the rest of his life.
Are we talking about a guy who has a stutter?
I'm saying, why did he say it twice? Shiloh, what was
I don't know why he said it twice, but if it's talking about a stutter, isn't that a different case? A guy has an issue that he has dementia or something, and he repeats everything twice. That's the case we're talking about. We're talking about a normal guy.
No. But I'm saying, where do you draw the line? I'm saying he's saying it. He says I'm going to be a nazir, and then he walks around and says, you know what? I really want to eat that piece of bread. Oh, if I eat it, I'm going to become a nazir. So now he has to do it twice.
I mean, he said it twice, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm saying, don't we all say things twice, especially to our kids?
Just not a neder.
Say it.
You can repeat anything. You can repeat anything you want, just not a neder.
Did anybody on this island see the movie Goodfellas, one of the great movies of all time? Did anybody see it?
It's a must watch. You have to watch it. What does that mean, Baron?
Well, did anybody? So you saw it?
Of course.
So why don't you mention, like I did this morning, Vinny 2 times? He said everything twice. I'm getting the papers.
Get the paper.
Now we have a song of the day. We have a movie of the day. What's next?
Copy the whatever name is. What's the case? Copy the Mishna. No, that's all.
I hear. So you're saying Chazara is? You're saying you have to Chazara.
That was the guy's nickname in the movie.
Okay, but anyways, so the guy said it twice. I don't know why. I don't understand the gather of saying it twice. That's all I'm saying. Okay, obviously a stutter would be an extreme case, but I walk around saying, if I'm gonna eat that piece of bread, I'm becoming nazir, right? Then I leave the room, then I walk back in and say, oh, that's a nice piece of bread. I'm gonna become a nazir if I do that, right? That's called twice. Right? Okay, we're going to see in the Gemara.
So give me a case what the Mishnah is talking about when a guy says.
I don't know. That's why I'm presenting it to the Gedolei Olam over here of a half hour before Shabbos to come up with a pshat. I don't have a pshat clear exactly what's going on here, right? For all that schnitzel I saw in the video by Gershon, I come in and say, okay, I'm not eating before Shabbos. I'm gonna.
You have no idea what you're missing.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, just like you have no idea how the daf you're missing usually. You have no idea.
I am completely up on the daf for Aaron. Guess what?
Good.
There are other places to learn the daf also.
What? I didn't hear.
There isn't just one location to learn the daf. I am also on the daf. I'm completely holding.
Very good.
he has pulling the old Daf out.
I'm very
Yeah,
happy.
exactly.
I'm not makabel that.
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I might not know
Like,
a word
I
of
like the
Nedarim,
movie.
but that doesn't mean I'm not holding in the daf.
I feel like the movie is getting
Just don't make a
Rabarim
nether.
now.
Yeah.
Good
Don't
fellas.
just don't make a nether. That's all.
It's a
Just
shame
don't
it's
make it,
Friday.
Yes.
Yaakov, I think we may have a heter to continue into Shabbos on this one.
Maybe. Yeah. Anyways, but no, yeah. Tonight I have to play rabbi though, so I can only go to a limited amount of time. I'm not a free agent anymore this week, at least till next
Oh,
week.
Yaakov, now you're really starting to cause this to keep going. Oh,
Yeah. Anyways, fine. So that's the first case. So you could make a nazir can do a double nazir.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Shavua shaloi oichel. Shavua shaloi oichel. So the guy says he's making a shavua that he's not going to eat, and then then he says it again. I'm making a shavua that I'm not going to eat. Va'achal, and he eats. Eina chayev ela achas. Then he's only chayev, meaning, and then he doesn't keep his shavua, and he ends up eating. He's only chayev one, right? So again, basically, we're saying neder you can make it's going to become twice. And nazir not. So what's it going on? Here's the Gemara. Amar Rav Huna loishanu. So Rav Huna limits this case. Loishanu eladam hareini nazir hayom hareini nazir lemacha. See this topic. This answers the question that we were asking. According to Rav Huna, this only works if he changes something about it. He says, "I'm a nazir today. I'm a nazir tomorrow." Okay, so then that's he's adding something to the mix the second time he said it. That means if he keeps walking around the house saying, "I'm going to become a nazir, eat that bread. I'm going to become a nazir, eat that bread," that's nothing. Right? It's only if he adds on another day. The migu, the Taisuf Yom Yisera, since he added on another day, chayla nizirus al nizirus. So therefore, since he added something new to the second statement, that adds one on to the next one. Aval Amar Areini Nazir Hayom Areini Nazir Hayom. But if he says, "I'm going to be a nazir today," and then he says it again, "Ein chayla nizirus al nizirus," that's not chayla nizirus al nizirus. Okay, we understand that. That opinion is very clear to understand. The only thing is the Gemara is going to spend about almost a blot asking questions on this opinion, right? The Shmuel Amar Shmuel Schailik, he says, "Afilu Amar Hareini Nazir Hayom Hareini Nazir Hayom Chalon Nazirus Aleh." Even if he says it, "I'm a nazir today," and then he says it again, "I'm a nazir today," then he has double nazirus, and he's gonna have to keep 60 days instead of 30 days. Now the Gemara, I think, asks 5-6 kashas on Rav Huna's shita. Again, Rav Huna says that nazir is not chal on nazir unless he added something in the second time that he said his nizirus. So the Gemara asks Rav Huna the Tani. So again, Rav Huna is saying in the Mishna, the Mishna is trying to teach us that there are some cases where there's neder b'soich neder, and then there's other places where we don't say, right? Meaning shvua. But according to Rav Huna, why do you have to go to shvua? There is a possibility to make a neder soich neder that doesn't work, right? Meaning the Mishna is trying to teach sometimes it's going to be a double neder and sometimes it's not. The Gemara's example of not is shvua. According to Rav Huna, why do you have to go to shvua? Give an example of not where the guy said Areyani nazir twice for the same day, and then that would tell you that is not a neder b'soich neder. So that's the Gemara's kasha. Rav Huna the Tana ain't shvua b'soich shvua. Listen, yesh neder b'soich neder, ve'ein neder b'soich neder. Why do you have to go to shvua? You could teach the same thing within the framework of neder. Hareini nazir hayom, hareini nazir l'macher. Guy says, "I'm a nazir today, I'm a nazir tomorrow." Yesh neder b'soich neder. Then there is a neder b'soich neder, and he has to keep 60. Hareini nazir hayom, hareini nazir hayom. On Talmud Beis now. Ain't neder b'soich neder. Then you don't have neder b'soich neder, right? So why can't you just teach it that way? You don't have to jump to shvua according to Rav Huna. Meaning according to who was it? Rav Ashi. According to Shmuel, who says that it's a double neder, even if he says Areni Nazir Hayom, Areni Nazir Hayom. So then it's there's no way the only way to teach a case of no neder b'soich neder is to go to shvua. But according to Rav Huna, you could teach both within the framework of neder. So kasha, the Gemara says, yeah, it's a kasha on Rav Huna. Fine, but that's not enough. The Gemara is going to ask another kasha on Rav Huna. Tanan, yesh neder b'soich neder, vein shvua b'soich shvua. There's a neder and within a neder, and there's no shvua in the shvua. Hey, what's the case? If it's somewhere where he said, "I'm going to be a nazir today, I'm going to be a nazir tomorrow," the Kava say, so then you have to have an exact similar case by shvua. So what would be the similar case by shvua? The Kava say, shvua, shaloi oichel ta'enim. The guy says, I'm making a shvua that I'm not going to eat figs. The chazav v'amar, shvua, shaloi oichel anovim. I'm making a shvua that I'm not going to eat grapes, right? Because it's two. He has to be adding something on, right? By the neder, he's saying today I'm a nazir, and then tomorrow I'm going to be a nazir. So he added on. So the equivalent case by shavua would have to be I'm not eating te'enim today, and I'm not eating grapes. Amai lo yachal shavua al shavua. If that's the case, why is that not a shavua and a shavua? It's two different shuas. Just because you make one shua doesn't mean you can't make another shua, right? A guy makes a shua that he's not going to eat a fig. Okay, so then he has to keep his word. And then he goes and makes a shua that he's not going to eat a grape. So he has to keep his word. What does one have to do with the other?
And
right?
both of those
Well,
go
how is this-
simultaneously now.
What?
By the grapes and the figs, they both go simultaneously now. But
Correct.
by the nazir, one is this month, and then 30 days later is the next one kicks in.
That's only because that's what we're saying he has to do, right? That's because that's what we're saying he has to do.
Well, other way, otherwise it wouldn't work. You can't be a nazir twice at the same time.
No, but the thing is, if he's over on the nazir, does he have the main nafkamina is if he's over on the nazir, does he have to bring 2 korbanos or 1 korban? So we're saying he only has to bring 1, right? But when he says he's a nazir today, and then he's a nazir tomorrow, then he would have to bring. Meaning, we're saying that he would theoretically have to bring. Well, maybe not. Maybe not.
You have to bring one
Maybe
now
not.
and then one next month?
By the shavua, by the nazir, no. By the nazir, he's going to have 1 for 30 days. I'm sorry, that was a mistake. A nazir is going to have the first 30 days, and then he's going to have one the second 30 days. But that's only if he added something on. Right? If he said it in the same time.
Why is there a
Huna,
second 30 days? Isn't it followed at the same time? Yeah.
No, he has to keep 230 days by nazir. If according to Rav Huna, only if he adds on an additional day. If he just says Areini Nazir Ayom, then he doesn't. So the Gemara is asking, if you're saying that Hareini Nazir Ayom, Hareini Nazir Lamachar is when he has to keep 60 days of Nazir, so then you have to say a similar case by Shavua, which would be what? So the Gemara says an example, I'm not going to eat te'enim, and then he says I'm not going to eat grapes. In which case, we would say that he does not have a shvua for eating grapes. How could that be? They're 2 separate shvuas. One has nothing to do with the other, right?
Well, why wouldn't the equivalent be what the Gemara brings? He makes a shvua. I'm not going to eat to Einem for 10 days, and then he says.
So what's the next? So let's see.
But you're sticking that in there. It doesn't say 10 days. You just stuck that in there.
That's what Gershon's asking. Why can't you say that should be the case? That's what Gershon's asking. Not that it should be simultaneous. Let's see. So the Gemara says, Ella, heichidami. What's the case? The loichal l'shvua al shvua. What's the case where a shvua is not going to be chal on a shvua? Going to Amar shvua shaloi oichel te'enim. He says, makes a shvua, I'm not going to eat te'enim. V'chazar v'amar shvua shaloi oichel te'enim. And then he says it again. The kavasa, gabi nizirus, heichidamis. If that's the case, then he's saying the same shvua twice. Then what's the case by nizirus? It has to be that he said I'm a nazir today, and then he said it again, I'm a nazir today, because tani yesh neder b'soich neder. Meaning, so the only way to understand the Mishna, the Gemara is saying, is to say that he's keeping a double in his ears when he says I'm a nazir today, and then he repeats himself. So it's a kash on Rav Huna, right? So now I'm not sure. I don't know if this is. Yeah.
The guy could be on one of these diets where every day he adds something to his diet. So each day he repeats. He starts back from 1. By the 4th day he's on the 4th fruit that he's not eating. But he repeats it. He repeats it every day. There's such things.
Right. So so that's going to be really the Gemara's
when
teretz.
like Chazara, you add something every day, but you go back to the first one. The Shas Yomi, all the guys chazering by the end of the week, they're chazering 6 blood a day, right? So.
Yeah. Okay. So as that the Gemara's teretz, let's see the Gemara's teretz. So Amalach Rav Huna, Masnisin to Omar Hareini Nazir Ayom Hareini Nazir Lamachar. The Mishna is talking about where he said he's a Nazir today and then he's a Nazir tomorrow. The Kavasa Gabi Shvua, the Omar Shaloi Oichel Te'enim. He said a Shvua, I'm not eating figs. The Chazar VaOmar Shvua Shaloi Oichel Te'enim VaAnovim. Right. So that's what you're saying. He's adding on. I don't know if that's what you were saying, Gershon, but he said the next day he says Shvua that I'm not eating Te'enim. and grapes, both. So he added on. So since he added on, they were going to say that by a shavua, that's not considered an addition. That's what we're going to say. That's not considered an addition. Right? Fine. So then the Gemara asks another kasha similar to this case. Va'amar Rabba said, and some say it's Rava, right? No, isn't it? Some say it's Rava. Maybe not. Yeah, Rava. Yeah, some have said Rava. Va'amar Rava shvua shalai oichel te'enim. A guy says, I'm making a shvua that I'm not eating dates. And then he goes and he says a shvua that he's not eating te'enim and anovim, right? Same case that we just said. Va'ochal te'enim, then he ate te'enim, right? So then he was over on the first shvua. V'hifrish korban, and he brought a korban since he did it by mistake, so he was mafresh a korban. V'chozav va'ochal anovim, and then he went and ate grapes, right? So again, this guy has a complicated thing. He made a shvua that he's not eating grapes, and then he made a shvua that he's not. He made a shvua that he's not eating figs. Then he went and made a shvua that he's not eating figs and grapes. And then he went and he ate figs by mistake, separated a korban, and then he went and ate grapes. The grapes is a chatzi shir because he had his second shvua was grapes together with figs. And we don't bring a korban on a chatzi shir. Right, Alma. If somebody says a shvua,
he said and or he said with.
What? And.
So and is not together. It's not a
that's part of the question. He says, yeah.
What do you mean? If I say I'm not eating figs
and grapes,
I'm not eating figs. I'm not eating
with grapes,
and I'm not eating. Yeah, right. So I don't know if it means with in the same bite. It means that I'm not going to eat both. Right? It's a shvua that he's not going to eat both. Whether he eats them the same bite, separate bites, I don't know.
In order to be over in the shvua, you have to eat both. It's not. I'm not going to eat this or this, and then whatever one you eat, you're over on the shvua.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Okay.
But anyways,
I understood it as or. I'm not going to eat figs.
No,
or
it's
grapes.
and. It's and. No, it's and. So now when he eats grapes, so then the shaila is, so we're saying that's only half of a shvua. So it's only half a shvua, so he doesn't have to bring the korban. Right, where he first makes the shvua he's not eating figs, and then he goes and makes the shvua that he's not eating figs and grapes. Since the shvua is chal on the grapes, it's also chal on the te'enim. Right? So meaning, so how can you say that it's not a shvua? Right? So the Gemara answers, Rav Huna lo svira le karabba. Rav Huna does not hold of Rabba. He doesn't hold of this din. Right? Meaning Rabba says that when he says figs and grapes, and that's memela, you can make a shvua. Rav Huna says no. Rav Huna says no. I don't believe that's a shvua. That's also considered a shvua on top of a shvua. So now, therefore it's not a kasha. Right? Meaning this kasha here, this is the Gershon. This kasha here is from an Amoira, from one Amoira to another Amoira. Right? So he says it's very nice. He asked me from Amoira. I disagree with that. Amoira's psak. Rabbah says that if he adds on figs and grapes, mamela, you could add on the shvua. And so we want to ask Kasha and Rav Huna says it's very nice. Rav Huna says I disagree with that. I don't believe that's the case, and therefore he doesn't. It's not a kasha. Okay, I guess we'll stop here. The Gemara asks another 1, 2, 3, 4 more kashas on Rav Huna.
What I'm going to do with the next 10 minutes.
No. We're going to stop here. We'll stop it here.
I'm saying I don't know what I'm going to do with the next 8 minutes.
Oh, you don't know?
Eat another piece.
Eat another piece of
kugel?
Eat another piece of kugel. It happens to be a good idea. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes I have good ideas.
And me, I'm going to go in the shower now.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
He won up you, David.
Actually, a guy just asked me. A kid is saying, "I go to. I think it's a kid. I don't know. He goes to mikveh every Friday. He doesn't have time. Can he go after shkia?" I said, "You can't go after shkia." He says, "Oh, Hasidim." I said, "The Litvish, we don't go after shkia." I said, "Why? Because you're not allowed to bathe on Shabbos and hot." He says, going to the mikveh is bathing. So I had it with him. I said, I texted back, "No, what do you think it is? Eating?" Anyways, all right, whatever.
Yeah, he makes sure he's not going to eat an oven when he goes into the mikveh.
Yeah.
It wasn't my kid, was it?
Good job.
I have no idea. I don't know who it is. Anyways, so I
Have a good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos.